What's going on, everybody? Merry Christmas. Today is literally Christmas. My beard is all askew because I've been sitting around all day hanging out with the dude, just him and I. But got dressed. We're going to go up to my old buddy Matt's house and pick up a long stretch. Pick up a torpedo heater and try and get my pipes thawed out because they have been frozen since yesterday or the day before, actually. But I was working. I think it was yesterday. Yeah, I know it was yesterday. So anyway, I have some bottled water I keep in case of emergencies, and it's warming up outside, and it's supposed to be 50 here in Pennsylvania in like 2 days, but I can't go without water any longer. I thought maybe it'd thaw out today, so it's 3:45 on Christmas Day. So we're going to jump in the F-350. I'm going to take this guy with me, and we're going to run up to Matt's and pick up a torpedo heater and see if we can get this stuff thawed out. I had a small heater that I had bought from a local hardware store that is a true value, but it did not make the cut. I think it made 1 week or something like that. So yeah, been putting off heat taping it and insulating it, and the biggest reason why I've been putting it off is if it doesn't work for whatever reason, I don't know how I would go about getting it thawed back out if it freezes again. I know the heat tape should keep it from doing that, but for some reason I just question whether that's going to work or not. But I have heat tape, I have the insulation, I have both, like regular insulation and the styrofoam stuff. So I don't think I'm going to do that today. I'll probably do that this days off. On my days off, I'm not off on weekends, but I was going to say this weekend, but on my time off. But for right now, let's get around here and get him out into the pickup truck, and we'll get headed up to pick up a torpedo heater. I'll talk to you guys along the way here. I saw some questions on the last video and people were asking, so pitter patter, let's get at her. All right, we're loaded up, getting ready to head out. My driveway is not plowed, so I'll make sure we keep traction to get out on the road. Anyway, dude's laying down in the back seat. Yep. And we got snow coming off the roof. Some questions that arose on the recent video of me not being dead. Or do I miss Bella? And the answer to that question is yes. The phone's vibrating a little bit. If that's the case in the video, I apologize for that. But your iPhone usually does pretty good about the stabilization. I do miss Bella. I do not miss the crap that goes along with running a trucking company or a truck in general when you're doing it yourself. I mean, I had a lot of heartache issues over the years to deal with, like anybody else does that owns a truck. But I mean, for instance, the reason why I sold Bella is because I came out one day to fire her up and had a split in the tire a long ways down the tread of the tire, in between the two lugs of the tire. So didn't make sense to put a $1,000 tire on a truck that was sitting in my driveway. And I was the big reason why I came to the conclusion, rather than leaving her sit in my driveway, I would just go ahead and get rid of her, and maybe if I ever got back into trucking again, buy another truck. Well, not trucking again, but felt the need to buy a truck or the opportunity to buy a truck and go trucking. So the answer is yes, I do miss Bella. As a truck, I really loved that truck a lot. I did a lot of work to that truck. text messages. And I do miss her. I don't miss the crap that goes along with it, and I don't know that people understand the expense that goes along with owning a truck. For instance, the crate motor that I put in that truck, I think it's 4 years ago now, but it was 2 years in when I got rid of the truck. It was a $36,000 crate motor, which, you know, you can do a rebuild for a little bit cheaper than that, and depends on whether you do it yourself and all kinds of other things, but yeah, so that's the story. The F-350, I'll do a walk around one of these days here. I'm off and I got some time to find a quiet place and do a walk around on it, and I'll show you guys the stuff that I like and don't like about it. There's a thing called thawed scan. My brother and Larry and I call it foreskin, which, you know, it's just one of them guy things, you know, Ferta boys. But anyway, you can get that, and you can change some parameters in the truck, and we have done that. And turn the engine brake on here, got a car slowing down in front of me. It really changes things. For instance, the seatbelt chime does not chime anymore. Some other things, you can change the displays, you can change like what they call global windows, which is you hold the unlock button and your windows go down, which I had that from the factory, but going past a friend's house here. Actually, a friend's parents' house, but he's there because it's Christmas Day. So anyway, global windows. You press the unlock button, then press it again and hold it, and it puts the front windows down in the truck. Now they have an up option also. My truck was not programmed with that, so we turned it on. So now, like, if I'm not sure my windows are closed and it starts raining or something, I can hit the lock button, then hit it and hold it, and the front windows will go up if those are the windows that are down. I oftentimes in the winter or in the summer will put the windows down, back windows down for him so that he can sniff. And so that is a handy thing if I have the front ones down. Obviously, the back ones don't do it, so it doesn't cure all the problem. But anyway, I really like this truck a lot. I like it a lot. It has the pro trailering knob as I run my hand around it there. I have not used that yet. I guess maybe we'll do a video on that. We'll go out and we'll see if a truck driver can use the pro trailering knob, because, you know, I do the whole turning of the steering wheel thing using my mirrors because that's what I'm used to. So I got a pickup truck on my car trailer right now that I actually got from Matt. That is a Ford Ranger with a small plow on it that I have not unloaded yet. So I need to get it unloaded, and then maybe one of these days, we got some decent weather, I'll go to a parking lot and use the pro trailering knob, and maybe see if I can get a female to go with me and see if she thinks which one is easier, and then make a good video probably, I guess. But anyway, love the truck. I run it in eco mode pretty much all the time. In eco mode, it has, again, according to research, I'm not arguing with anybody about this at all, so, but according to research, it has 50 more pound-feet of torque at 900 pound-feet of torque. It's 50 more than what my Ram had. So I do enjoy that. I run it around in eco mode, and it actually is a little bit more drivable, I think, in eco mode. When it's in normal mode, the torque is so high that it kind of makes it a little twitchy, I think. Kind of trying to read text messages as they come across my phone. So That's another thing. Let me get right back with you. I'm going to stop and I'm going to read some text messages and maybe make a phone call and pull into this side street here, and I will get back with y'all in a second. It'll literally be a second for you. Alright, one of the big questions that I got asked a bunch when I mentioned about the F-350 is, why did I choose to get rid of my Ram? And this may sound like a stupid reason to a bunch of people, but this right here. My head, if I sat straight up, even close to straight up in the seat like I am right now in my Ram, my head would hit the ceiling. And especially the pin on the top of my hat, and I have driven it into my head a couple times in the Ram when I hit a bump, or the Dukes of Hazzard bridges that we have in Pennsylvania that jump on and jump off. That's why I call them Dukes of Hazzard bridges. But anyway, more headroom. I'm 6'3", and this seat is the whole way down and almost the whole way back. I got probably 2 inches. I could slide it back, but I just don't need it that back that far to drive the way I am comfortable to drive. And it leaves more room in the back seat, which is another reason why I like the Fords. They have, arguably, my opinion, the most backseat room of any of the manufacturers. Now, I've owned everything. The last time I counted, which I need to sit down and do it again, from the time I met my ex-wife in 2006 till like the time I had my Ram, I and/or we had owned like 65 or 68 vehicles. So I've had a little bit of everything. I've had 2015, it was a 16. It was a 15. My first diesel pickup truck was a 2015 work truck Chevy. Then I had a 2017, and then I had my 2022, or no, take that back, it was a 2021 Ram. And of course now this is 2024. Those are just the diesel pickup trucks, but I've had a little bit of everything. I've had performance, I've had pickups, I've had diesel pickups, I've had the only thing I don't ever really get into is, you know, the smaller pickup trucks like Colorado or a Canyon or that. In fact, Larry and I went and drove a Hummer EV. There was a promotion going on, doesn't really matter. We just drove it kind of for the fun of it. But they had a Canyon AT4 AEV on the showroom floor, and it's a $68,000 Canyon, which is a lot of money for a small truck, but it was cool. I have some pictures of it if I remember in editing. Because I'll have to edit this video, but I'll put up a picture of it. Excuse me. That was brunch coming back up. I had Hot Pockets, pepperoni pizza Hot Pockets for Christmas dinner today. But anyway, really sharp truck, but I said I would have bought that instead of my F-350, in which I wouldn't have, but Larry said, no, you wouldn't have. Go sit in it. And I walked around, and I literally have to fold myself in half, like at the waist, to get in around the door frame into that truck. So it's just one of them things, you know. It's just that type of truck's too small for me. So the doors on this open real wide, I think, for a 1 ton. Well, for a 3/4 ton, 1 ton. It is a single rear wheel 1 ton. I would have bought it at 250, but this 350 was what they had in stock, and they had a couple long beds, and I almost bought a long bed but there's times that I have to have somebody drive my truck. If I have a significant other, they have to, or whatever, and a lot of people do not want to drive a long bed truck, so, or a dually for that matter, which is a wide long bed truck. But that being the case, it rides really well for a 1-ton truck, especially a single rear wheel 1-ton truck. I was on the interstate the other day with it going to Pittsburgh, and it was concrete part of the interstate, so it was across every joint in the road, so that was a little annoying. But if I'd have had some weight on it, I probably wouldn't have done that. But anyway, love the truck. I'll get more into that stuff in a whole truck video, because I will probably do a long-term review of this truck from a truck driver's standpoint, because it does have some pretty cool stuff on it, some good tech, and power folding mirrors, and it's a Lariat, so it's got quite a bit of stuff on it. But anyway, we now pause for station identification. Trying to think of what some of the other questions were on the previous post. A lot of positive feedback on the doing different types of content, which I appreciate. We're going to go by Larry's house. Would I ever go back out on the road? I'm not going to say I would not ever go back out on the road, but I certainly like what I'm doing now. There's times where I miss seeing the scenery that I saw, Colorado and US 550, that was gorgeous country, and Montana, did a lot of Montana, and even California. But being gone all the time, you get to an age, I can remember my dad was about my age, where he didn't like being gone all the time anymore. You want to be home with your family, and of course I don't have family that I live with, but you just don't want to be on the road all the time. And I think a lot of guys that are still doing it at my age, it's more of a necessity. See if you can hear this. We'll get into it. It being a V8, it's a V8 diesel, as opposed to the inline diesel. The torque comes on very strong, very quickly, and I do like that about this truck. The Ram was not an HO, so it was a little laggy, turbo lag and pedal lag, and this truck does not seem to have much of that. Larry and I were talking the other day about, pedal. There's a brand, and I'm trying not to name that brand, but like the things that trick the pedal, or change the parameters of the pedal so that it's more touchy. I don't know that I would do that with this truck. I like it, and I forget that it's there a lot, but the heads-up display is nice. I'll flip this around for you. Maybe. You can see the heads-up display there and the information that it has in it. And those two little dots up there are my, distance indicators for if I'm following a vehicle. That top left one there, if I'm following a vehicle, it'll show a little vehicle thing there. And when I get what it thinks is too close, it turns a different color. And turn signals are also in it. And if I change modes, like if I go to tow haul mode, it will change the display also, or into off-road mode. So that's cool. I forget to use it a lot. As you can see, I drive with my hand on the steering wheel a lot, and I'll move my hand to look at my gauges. and I'll be like, oh, well, they're, you know, the speedometer being the big one, I'll be like, oh yeah, they're right there in the windshield. So, anyway, I'm all over the place. Sorry, guys. Would I go back out on the road? Maybe if I had a significant other that wanted to go with me or whatever and use it as a sightseeing situation, you know, go to places and then either rent a car or something, because that's the thing about driving truck. You get to see a lot of cool scenery, but it's at a distance. You know, you can't take a truck to Mount Rushmore. You can't take a truck to Yosemite National Park or Yellowstone National Park, or, you know, you can't take trucks to those places. You can't even take campers above a certain size to those places. So, you know, that's a whole thing that when you're driving truck, you're like within a stone's throw of those places, but you can't go see them. So it kind of sucks. Now, my parents at one point in time after my dad retired, they delivered motorhomes and motorhomes. My dad would deliver ones that were CDL, and my mom would deliver ones that were non-CDL. And if you own a motorhome, you do not have to have a CDL. But in delivering them, if it has air brakes on it, you have to have a CDL. Or if it's above a certain weight also, I think. But anyway, they would do that, and and my dad towed a car behind them on a tow bar, and they would go see things. And that might be something that I did at some point in time too. But honestly, if I was going to do that, I'd probably just use a pickup truck and deliver travel trailers. But I don't miss the road so much as I miss the sightseeing side of it. You know, I have a lot of cool pictures of Bella in cool places. I think cool, very scenic places anyway. But it gets old being gone all the time, and certainly, you know, it wears on a significant other if you have one. And excuse me. Anyway, I guess I'll put you all on time lapse. I'll show you some of this beautiful Pennsylvania scenery here, and probably see you when we get to Matt's house. I didn't record anything while we were at Matt's because him and I got to BSing and I forgot. So we're back at Sheets. I'm going to get some dinner and head out to the house because I don't have anything to cook at the house currently. And somebody is back there whining. Hard to see in the dark. But anyway, as you can see, it's dark. So I'm going to get some food. We'll get out to my house and I'll get this thing set up, and that'll probably be the end of the video, close to it anyway. So we'll get some food and we'll get out to my house. All right, made it home. Pardon my dishes in the sink here, but got my food. Got the dude eating his food. I've been giving him an egg with his food every morning and evening, and I don't know. There for a while he wasn't eating, so I did that to try and get him to eat. But anyway, we're gonna get that thing unloaded and get it hooked up and see if we can get this water thawed out. Couple inches of snow, half melted snow. There's the exterior of the 250 for what it's worth in the dark. And does have, if I can feel it with my gloves, it has, yeah, yep, yeah, it's got that, the thing, there it is. Got the bed lighting, and it's got a switch right there that I was trying to feel. Of course, I had a car, decided it wanted to make a last minute turn in front of me. So let's see if we can get that back out here. I'm gonna have to get me a fifth wheel puller put in here or something to be able to reach up in there. Even at 6'3", I can't reach that far. Dad noises. There we go. All right, it's going to take both my hands to haul that thing over there and knock the empty windshield washer jug all over the place. Anyway, we got to go right over there. Meanwhile, it sounds like the predator's coming. I don't know if you could hear that on the camera or not. And I got my trusty watchdog who wants his ball thrown in the dark. All right, let me get this hauled over there and then we'll get her set up. All right, here's where we gotta go in here. When the Amish folks originally skirted this, they left that for access to the water. And as you can see, I had heaters that I would plug in up there. And the extension cord right there is lit up. And whenever I thought it was going to freeze or whatever, I'd plug one of them heaters in. I had two of them. But the discharge from the water treatment over the summer ate right through them. And this is the one that I bought that was like $55, and it lasted like a week. Them things there are like $22 at Wally World. And then we got the turbo heater, torpedo heater. And I'm not going to put that under the house. I'm just going to move that, set this up at the opening, and get some heat under there, because although it's I don't know if I can flip this around or not. Although it's, it's like 32 or something like that. It takes it a long time to freeze, so it takes it a long time to unthaw. So if it's not like 50 degrees outside, heat doesn't get under there fast enough to unthaw it. So we will get the torpedo heater and get some heat under there. And then one day this week, I'll do some fixing of this problem permanently, get the heat tape put on and insulated and what have you. So let me drag this thing out of here. Well, I'll show you what I gotta do here. I gotta whip like that because it's on a nail. And I could have changed some of this, but keep in mind I didn't plan on this being a forever situation. So I'm just trying to get by here. Now you can't see because of the dark, but the water pipe is directly right where you see that little light spot right there, under there. I don't think I can turn my light on my camera. Hold on. Ah, there we go. It's still hard to see, but right there is where my water is, and I used that chimney pipe to try and insulate it before, and had that heater blowing up in there. So, and it has old heat tape on it, but I don't trust it. So, and then the wires you see are my well wires for the to power the well pump. So Matt said this thing needs fuel, so I am going to, it sounds like it's got some in it, but I don't know if it'll be enough to ignite it. But, so I guess we'll just plug it in and see. I could be right back. Alright, it's a little loud. Got it running. I'm obviously going to have to keep an eye on it because that's hot right there. If you know anything about torpedo heaters, see how that center is getting red right there? They put off a lot of heat. And every once in a while you'll get an ember that'll come out of there or whatever. So I'm going to have to keep a close eye on it. That'll get the heat under there pretty quickly, I would think. I really would like to just point it down like that, but I don't know if I'm too close or not, so I'm gonna have to keep an eye on it. So stand by. Alright, we'll just come inside here. I'm gonna try and eat my grub. We got a little bit of spicy chicken, mac and cheese. He's finishing up his because as soon as he heard me go outside, he wanted to go outside with me. There, the furnace just turned off. But walk in here in my bathroom, and you can probably hear that running in underneath there. Yeah, you gotta love the 90s mirrors, right? Yeah, all right. Anyway, I'm gonna try and eat this grub while it's relatively warm. I don't think it's even warm anymore. Oh, there we go, get me on camera here. And then I'll be back out to check on that, so I'll keep you posted. All right, well, we got pressure, but I am not getting anything out of the spigot, so I'm guessing that it is frozen somewhere in the manifolds. So I'm gonna leave that running. I'm sure you can hear it under there. And leave it blowing air underneath there and hopefully thaw it out. I'll take you over to the bathroom and show you how we're not getting water. So you can see nothing. And as you can see, I got very high iron water. That's from leaving it run. So gonna make sure we haven't started the house on fire yet, and which obviously we haven't. We're still standing here, but anyway, make sure we haven't caught anything on fire, and hopefully get it thawed out somewhere under there, under all of that.